What are your favorite school supplies? As a kid, for some reason, I loved going to the department store and seeing all of the school supply lists that were being handed out for the kids' particular school, and seeing how they need 3 sticks of glue, they need some rounded scissors or a ruler and some pens and pencils, and it was always one of those things where it felt like Christmas because you got all this stuff just showered upon you, and it's cool stuff, and you're getting ready to go back to school and see all your friends after summer break. So I want to hear from you at 217-629-7970. What were some of your favorite back-to-school items as a kid? Again, 217-629-7970. That's the phone number here with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop. You can also email bishoponair@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and you can share your thoughts that way as well. But what are your favorite back-to-school items? And do you still kind of get a joy at seeing some of those classic Trapper Keepers? I'll rephrase that. I did get a Trapper Keeper at one point, but the functionality of it, I was not too fond of. It had like that, almost like a razor blade around the edges, right? Because it was like a plastic seal, and it just, I don't know, was not the best designing, at least for a practical standpoint. But what were some of your favorites back-to-school items as a kid? And how much, for some of you out there who have children, how much have things changed since you were a kid going back to school? 217-629-7970. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Good morning, GB.
What's up, man?
I always enjoy.
The National Weather Service in Lincoln has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Menard County, Logan County, southeastern Woodford County, DeWitt County, southeastern Tazewell County, McLean County, southeastern Mason County, until 9 a.m. At 8:12 a.m., a severe thunderstorm was located over Hopedale, or 13 miles southeast of Pekin, moving southeast at 55 miles per hour. Expected hazards include 60 miles per hour wind gusts. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Bloomington, Lincoln, Clinton, Eureka, Havana, Mason City, Normal, Leroy, Hayworth, El Paso, Petersburg, Lexington, Farmer City, Athens, Mackinac, Hudson, Chenoa, Atlanta, Delavan, and Mount Pulaski. This includes the following highways: Interstate 155 between mile marker 0 and 18. Interstate 39 between mile marker 0 and 14. Interstate 55 between mile markers 112 and 186. Interstate 74 between mile markers 108 and 157.
All right, I think we're back after getting note there from the emergency alert system of some severe weather, and be sure to check with us regularly, and we'll keep you posted. But that hazardous weather outlook being posted with a whole bunch of counties in the listening area with that severe weather, scattered thunderstorms moving across the area, widespread severe weather is expected, could be damaging to some areas, so just be cognizant of the weather situation. All right, JC, I apologize about that, but it's good to keep people informed of what's going on. So what's your favorite back-to-school items? Good morning.
I always enjoyed getting a new pair of jeans, but I just couldn't go where the small kids got their normal sizes. I was always considered a husky back then, so I had to go to the husky section of the department store to get the jeans, and so that was a little something different. But anyway, I had to have the fanciest notebook at the time, or a paper notebook and stuff with a lot of spirals and a lot of pages, because nevertheless, somebody always needed a page or two of note paper. And then I had to have a big thing of pencils and ink pens, because I was always loaning stuff out, and for some reason I never got them back. But that was my biggest.
You're too generous. You're too generous. That's what the problem is.
that was my biggest thing, was to get the biggest thing and fanciest notebook, and then pens. And in fact, when the multicolor ink pen come out where you just flick the thing down, there's like 4 colors on the top of it. I had to have that baby first thing right off the bat.
Yeah,
so.
the rainbow colored pens that you get to select the ink. Yeah, that's great. Good stuff. Good memories. 217-629-7970. A note, starting Friday, there's going to be a tax holiday through August 14th for a whole host of different types of school supplies, and even for some clothing supplies like footwear. So Illinois Family is going to get a little bit of a break when it comes to that back-to-school shopping. Starting Friday through August 14th, you're going to have that tax decline just for that specific time, a tax holiday on back-to-school supplies. What are your favorite back-to-school supplies? Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Okay, I'm dating myself, and I also want to ask you, does a tin lunchbox count as a school supply? I mean, a Roy Rogers,
absolutely.
Roy Rogers, Dale Evans lunchbox. It was my favorite show, and yes.
Well, fantastic. Yeah, I like that idea. I didn't even think about the lunch boxes, but yeah, there were some pretty awesome lunch boxes, and getting some of those kind of throwback classic ones was always a cool thing that kids would do. Appreciate the call. 217-629-7970 is the phone number. Your favorite back-to-school items. Good morning.
No favorites, because I knew what was going to happen. I could get all my school supplies. Then I spend the next 3 days getting my mom and dad's classrooms ready for class.
Yeah, and that's one way to do it, right? Is to just the preparation of it all, the collection of all the things and getting it lined up and ready. And you ask my wife, I love doing my laundry because I get to make piles, and it's always been something I've done even as a kid. I was doing my own laundry, and there's something very zen about laying out your stuff and being like, okay, here's this, there, and the other. Lindsay on Facebook says, I used to love to buy Lisa Frank folders. And now my kids' schools tell them what color folders and notebooks to buy, so it's a little bit more boring. Oh, that's sad. Oh, yeah, just go out and buy them some Lisa Frank stuff anyways, just for the heck of it. Good morning, you're on WMAY.
I used to get brand new boots so I could walk uphill both ways.
In the snow, right?
In the snow, 2.5 miles uphill both ways, and paste.
Mm-hmm. Pastes.
Everyone needs a snack about 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, the glue sticks. I mean, the glue sticks were always a thing where it's like, why do I need 4 of these? Specifically, teacher, tell me why I need 4 glue sticks.
Well, 2 are to eat in the course of the semester.
Stop it. Don't eat glue. Don't eat. Whatever Lokia says, don't eat glue. Oh, my gosh. Too funny. 217-629-7970. Good morning. Your favorite school supplies as a kid?
I would have to say the lunchbox. They were the best. And the matching thermos. And Greg, I got one for you.
All right.
I got my lunchbox and I'm darn real well.
You know what? I grew up on listening to Marilyn Manson. What a tune that was.
And you know what? Another thing I remember was the portfolios or pocket folders. You'd have to have one for like every subject.
Yeah.
And you'd have to go out and they'd have all these different characters or photographs. And, you wasn't cool if you had just the old plain paper one.
Right. Well, and you're a little bit older than me, I think. I'm not really sure. But did you guys have the really elaborate Trapper Keepers with all the designs? And
yes. So they had like the Velcro
right.
Closed. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was towards the end of my high school era. We still had the paper individual, folders. You went out and, had to be there early to get the cool ones before they were all picked over.
Right. Right.
And I don't know why,
awesome.
Because then we'd all draw on them, so it didn't matter.
I love it. That's great. Good stuff. 217-629-7970. We'll get to a few more of your calls, but also talk about something else getting ready for school, and that's the college savings program in the state of Illinois. A lot of you are saving for your kids' education, but if you've opened up your Bright Starts college savings program, you might be a little shocked as to how much money you've lost in the past year in that. So stay tuned. We'll get to that conversation here with Springfield's Morning News and take more of your calls about your favorite school supplies. It's right here on WM. All right, taking your phone calls about your favorite back-to-school items. Starting Friday through the 15th, you're going to have a tax holiday on your kids' back-to-school stuff. It gets pretty pricey. There's no question about it. I mean, I'm talking probably thousands of dollars if you got several kids. That includes all the fees you got to pay and whatnot, but you got to buy them, as Lokia said. She needed boots as a kid to walk uphill in the snow both ways, and at least 4 glue sticks. 2 were for lunch. God, that's awesome. But I want to hear from you, 217-629-7970. What were your favorite items when you were back to school as a kid? The Trapper Keeper is one of those. I really enjoyed getting myself a whole bunch of different writing utensils and rulers and stuff like that. But what about you? 217-629-7970. That's the phone number here for Springfield's Morning News. Pamela says on Facebook, back in the day, and I'm old, but Wise Mom would go down to the Thrifties and stock up on packages of white writing paper notebooks. They weren't that popular, but I'd get the new crayon, new box crayons, new pencils. That was really, it didn't... all this stuff that kids need now and so on. And listen, that's one thing I think is kind of interesting here is what do your kids need now as opposed to what you had to go get? Do they need new laptops, new iPads, new things like that? Or are they able to get by just with, pen and paper? 217-629-7970 is the phone number. But something else I wanted to definitely bring to your attention is this issue of how much you're having to pay for higher education. And higher education is definitely expensive. It's gotten a lot more expensive recently, and it's something that I think is draining a lot of people's finances. But some of you are taking proactive approaches to try to save for your kids' education. And if you are part of the Bright Starts program, then I tell you, you're losing some money. So most Illinois Bright Start college savings values have dropped some significantly. Of 17 different individual portfolios the state-run Bright Start performance statement has online, it shows that investments in 13 of the 17 are down over the past 12 months. 5 of the funds are down double digits in the past 12 months, with the T. Rowe Price Large Cap Growth 529 portfolio down nearly 23.5%. That is rather significant. And I had one person tell me that they have a negative growth of thousands of dollars in their college savings plan for their kids. And that impacts families in different ways. Either you've got a kid that's still years away from going to school, you might be all right. You might be able to make some of that back. But if you've got a kid who's 17 or 18 years old getting ready to go to school and you're taking a hit on this Bright Start program, well, that's significant. I talked with Bill Bergman, an independent analyst, about the stock market's impact on these things, and he said taxpayers need to watch out because, like with pensions, if the stock market doesn't perform well, taxpayers are going to be on the hook for the difference, and he said the same thing could happen with Bright Start's college savings program.
It's not so direct in the case of these college savings plans, but there may be indirect forms of pressure on the state to bolster the position of people in these plans that isn't available to people that are trying to save on their own for education.
Now, in April, taxpayers in the state of Illinois covered a one-time $230 million payment for the unfunded liability of the now defunct College Illinois program that ended enrollment in 2017. And paying all that off, the state says, is going to save taxpayers over $75 million over time. But the Illinois State Treasurer says that families investing in this, they have to judge their own risk tolerance in investing in the Bright Start program. But the Republican challenger, Tom Demmer, talked with him, and he said that the treasurer really needs to do more to step up and get families knowing what's going on and look at other options.
It highlights the need for the state treasurer to be hands-on and, not to sort of pretend that a recession isn't happening, or not to pretend that, the Biden administration hasn't overseen record inflation. We need to be frank and upfront about what's happening in our economy and look for ways to try to mitigate the damage from that.
Dimmer said that the treasurer needs to be evaluating what the costs are, look at expense ratios and performance over time. So obviously the Bright Start College Savings Program, because of the stock market's performance, taking a big hit. If you've looked at recent statements, if you're invested in that, you're probably getting a bit of sticker shock. But back to the issue of your favorite school supplies. Let's go here to another mechanical pencils and coloring book bags. All right, that's an interesting one as well. I remember getting the color, the mechanical pencils, and people making like little weird slingshots out of the springs. You guys remember that? Because you could like take the pencil apart and get the spring out, and then you're able to like shoot the pen adapter across the room, or make a spitball shooter. It's so stupid. Oh, to be a kid again. All right, it is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop. Thanks for hanging out and sharing your thoughts about your favorite school supplies. Don't forget, tax holiday starts Friday through the 14th of August, so make that happen. We'll take one more call here about your favorite school supplies. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
How about the scented markers that smelled like fruits?
They never really smelled like fruit, though. You know that.
Right. And the pens that had like 5 different colors in them.
Yeah, poor old JC brought that up as well. And it's funny. I mean, they would make markers that smelled like fruit so that they would train kids to sniff markers. I mean, we already had the glue sticks, for crying out loud. That was some people would eat. Unbelievable. Don't eat glue. Don't sniff markers. Just go to school and learn how to read and write. All right, so make that happen. All right, it is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News.